Hello there all. Hello and good evening, or good morning, or whatever the time of day it is where you are. How is everyone today? I hope you're all well for, well, a Tuesday. If you're watching this when it goes live, well, at least if you are on UTC time, it could be Wednesday if you are east of me. I don't think any chance of it being Monday though. Well, unless it's a future Monday. Anyhow, sorry, I digress. Welcome back to DadCraft, and I thank you again for all the support and lovely comments I've had today. Well, first, as you may guess, I'm in the end. I'm about to jump in. You'll see the Enderman farm that Dave and I built a while ago. I may as well pop over there to show you all it. And then, well, it's a bit of a different episode today. Some of you may find this like paint drying, others may find it really chilled and relaxed. So, you know what? We'll see how it goes, and please let me know. Is this content you like? Is a bit of a one-off, or is there something that you really don't like and never want me to do again? So, let me know. But we are going to be mining Obsidian for the ceiling in the arable farm. I've had a fantastic idea of what to do there. You'll have to wait and see before I tell you what it is. But one of the key building blocks is going to be obsidian, and a lot of obsidian. I don't know why I do this to myself, but anyhow, before we get mining, there is the Enderman farm. It is the default design. I think it has been for a while. It was built on a Saturday evening by another member of the server, Dave, and I. It was fairly easy until I made a mistake and built that platform one block too high. Dave and I then had to disassemble a platform and rebuild it with Endermen spawning all over it. And so it turned like an hour's project into a 3 hours project, and it was all my fault. But Dave, thank you for your infinite patience in dealing with that. And we got through in the end, and we'll show you. I then took the time to decorate it. So I made this little extension. Some reason the fence on this side has vanished. I don't know what's happened there. I'm going to have to rebuild that. I don't want to fall off the edge. But you just drop down here. And I thought, being in the end, I themed it with endstone and purple and some purple pillars. And so quite an open design because, I don't know, when you're safe from the void, I find it quite relaxing to stare out into it. It's very nice, and also I like that everything in the end is has this natural light, and nothing will spawn other than, of course, Enderman. And shulker boxes generate, but they don't spawn, so it's quite safe. And apologies for the noise, so I'll be here quick. This is our Enderman farm. And also, I got some prime obsidian then, and before I logged in, I used our piglin trading farm to grab us a load of prime obsidian, which is another key part of the build. You'll find out more in a future episode. So when I built this, put all the columns up. I did not change this platform. If I built this again, I'd have built this out of endstone to match, but I didn't think about that at the time, and it was too much of a faff to try to replace it, so that's staying there. And of course the usual enchanting table, where you get your XP from, and all the bits and pieces you need, including some information there. And I'll let you decipher the joke later. Anyhow, back to the main part of this episode, which is going to be me mining a lot of obsidian, and talking to you about various bits of my life and my philosophies on life. Again, if you enjoy this, let me know, or if you hate it, let me know, or if you're indifferent, also, feedback is fantastic because I make these because I want to put something out there that people enjoy and want to watch and entertains them. So if I know what entertains you, if it's something I want to do, I'll do it. So I think this pillar looks like it's been partly mined already. I think I'm going to go a spiral up and maybe a spiral down again. We'll see how far I get in the usual episode length. Oops. And I hope I got my feather falling, so yeah. Now whilst I punch out these slow mining blocks. Let's talk about, well, my first thought is what I do to relax. I think relaxation is extremely important, especially in the world as it is. We're in a lot of difficulty now. There's a major war going on. Inflation's high. Pay has been stagnant for most workers, including myself, for sort of 10 years plus, but rent and the price of everything's going up. It's not an easy place to live in, but I've suffered in my life with work-related stress and anxiety and burnout. I've had to take time off work in the not-so-distant past due to extreme levels of burnout. And when I talked to the Works Occupational Health, she said literally like work had put me in an unacceptable position, but still, you've got to learn how to relax and calm down. And one of the things I have learned is what to do in those brief times to get to relax. And, as a working full time and as a father, it can be brief sometimes, so you've got to make the most of it. What do I do? Well, some big things are I listen to my body. One big change I've made is I've always been, shall we say, and always still am, someone who is very active, outgoing. I love going out and seeing people. I don't like letting people down. If I say I'm going to be somewhere, I'm somewhere. If I'm going to be doing it, I'm doing it. And I'm an extrovert, so I get a lot of emotional energy from seeing people. However, I sometimes put that at the expense of physical energy and of just, shall we say, recharge energy, like just sleep. And sleep is often something I put to the back burner, and if I don't sleep, I know I get fairly, better word, actually probably is the best word, is ill. So recently I've started trying to listen to my body more. If I'm tired, I'm tired. If one evening I'm going to go to bed at 7 or 8 in the evening, well, I'm going to do it, because doing that for 1 or 2 evenings probably saves me from a week of feeling really rough and bad, if not worse. So I think my first piece of advice to everyone is sleep, is give yourself the time to sleep and the chance to sleep. Listen to your body if it wants it to sleep, and don't let anybody take your sleep from you. If people don't understand that you need sleep, and we want to explain it to them, then maybe you need to sort of question whether someone who actually cares for your interests, if they're not going to let you get what is essential for all of us humans, which is between sort of 7 and 10 hours of sleep a day, I think, depending on who you are. I think slightly unfortunate is I'm someone who needs a lot of sleep. If left to my own devices for a long period, I tend to sleep 9 to 10 hours a day, which, though through my axe, though fantastic in terms of relaxation, is, should we say, counterpoint to my personality, because I want to be out and doing things, and therefore, again, a lot of the issue I find, a lot of my life is a compromise, where I sort of go, okay, well, I'll try to make sure I have 8 hours of sleep a night, and then catch up now and then. Not the most healthy, but I have to some mix with getting enough sleep that my brain can generally recharge and all of that, and allowing me to do what helps me emotionally recharge, which is do things and go out. So, but yeah, I was saying, sleep is important. Listen to your body as much as you can, and sleep as much as you can, and don't put it off. One of the biggest things to relaxation and mental health. The next thing I really find useful is planning time in to have time off. I try to at least give myself an hour to myself in the evening, every evening, where I can do what I want in. And recently, it's been playing Minecraft a lot, but it could also be practicing guitar. It could be playing another game, reading a book, or going out, going for a walk, anything, playing sport. But plan that time into a day, and don't let things get in the way of it. It is probably one of the most, after sleep, the most important time of the day is the time you relax. So make the effort, say, what is your relaxed time? And make sure you stick to it. Mine is usually somewhere between sort of 8 and 9 in the evening, or 7:30 till 9. That sort of time where I've got my little boy to bed, had tea, maybe done the washing up, any bit of chores, and then really I've got that hour booked, which is just an hour to myself to do what I want to do. And having that and that discipline to stick to it really does help. And that discipline as well to not plan an hour, not to make myself do something like, don't make myself record a Minecraft video like this. If I'm not feeling it, don't, because that's not relaxation, that then becomes work. Whereas if sort of I come here and I think, you know what, I just want to watch YouTube for an hour, and that's what I need, I'll do that. And I actually did that yesterday afternoon. I had a bit of a longer chill out time planned. I thought, you know what, I'll get maybe 2 episodes recorded and a bit ahead. But I got there and I was just tired. It's been a long week in work, it's been a hot week in the UK, and that tires you out. So I thought, no, I'm just going to lie on the sofa and catch up on some YouTube subscriptions. And I ended up having an hour's nap, which, again, back to the sleep thing, my body clearly needed. And after that, I felt so much better that I'd spend some time doing something which my body wanted to do and enjoyed it. And then yesterday evening, again, I thought I could record the videos, but ended up talking to some friends and had a lovely evening just catching up with some people I've not talked to in a while. So again, my second theory of relaxation is plan in and diarise, if you're that sort of person, or bullet journal, or if you're me, just sort of go, that's the time, and lock that in your head. Your time each day just to have some time to do what you want. Now comes to my third point, which is sometimes things you need to do to prepare to relax, and it's a lot easier to relax if, phew, that was close, all the chores are done. If you look at the sink and there aren't dirty dishes in there, if there isn't a pile of laundry to be done. So again, when you're planning your times, whatever, also to make sure that you keep on top of the basic chores, and it can be difficult. And I know a lot of people with mental health issues, and chores can feel like an unfathomable burden. And the issue is then, no one's fault, but it starts becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy, because it is such a mental load to do a chore. You don't do it, and it builds up and builds up till it does become an actual mountain, sometimes literally. And one thing I've learnt in my life is try to keep all those things as little as possible. Do the washing up every time you cook, or every day at least. Do the laundry as soon as there's a machine wash load. Keep all the chores little, and then when you relax, you're not feeling guilty. You're not feeling like, oh, I'm relaxing, but actually, there's laundry and washing up to be done. Your relaxation is almost a reward for getting things done, and that's a big one for me. And how to most enjoy the relaxation, it is sort of treating it like I've got my time planned in, and I have to work and make sure I have that, and therefore to enjoy that the most, I'm going to ensure that everything else is done. So I'm not sort of trying to relax, but that thing is hanging over me, and it's not relaxing, and it's almost like procrastination then, and where you don't really do anything if there's stuff hanging over you, because you're always sort of metaphorically looking over your shoulder and never enjoying what you're actually doing. And I take that from a chronic procrastinator, somebody who, during my finals exams at university, rather than revising, I spent the entire time making playlists out of songs about pirates. Take that, with what you may, but I know what it's like to procrastinate, and I know what damage it can do, and that you don't get the relaxation out of it. You end up being more stressed about what you're doing and not actually relaxing at the time. So give yourself that, and keep chores small, keep on top of them. They may be boring, but again, sometimes turn them into ways to relax. And one thing, again, I've learned, and fantastic in this modern world with smartphones or tablets and laptops, is you can often find ways to do things you enjoy, or have things on and you enjoy whilst doing your chores. What I tend to have, say I'm doing the washing up or the folding laundry or even cooking, is the YouTube videos I enjoy on whilst I'm doing it. And because the chores I'm doing are not complex, not mentally challenging, I don't necessarily need to pay my full attention, I can then actually get a lot of that, shall we say, the that passive enjoyment of watching a video or listening to an audiobook or listening to music whilst doing something productive. And at least for me, that's almost like I've turned a chore into relaxing time, and actually I've almost made it as a bonus or a boosted relaxing time, because it's like I'm getting the serotonin or whatever it is boost of completing chores, and every time you complete a chore you do get that sort of feel good, like you've achieved something, whilst my brain thinks, "Oh, I'm just watching YouTube," and oh, my hands happen to be washing up, but I'm not even noticing that. So, there's another tip, is use your tech and have things that you can do simultaneously, whether it's listening to an audiobook and washing up, or watching a YouTube video whilst you fold clothes. I don't know, whatever works for you, but I personally quite like watching YouTube. So, again, that's like another hint. And I don't know, I could I could sort of deflect off as to what I watch on YouTube, but I think I'll save that to my other video. So, my next hint at how to relax is sort of ties back into my first one, really, and back into sleep, and it is give yourself time before you go to sleep. How much time depends on you, but I like sort of at least sort of half an hour in bed, just have a sort of cup of chamomile tea or something like that, something which is sort of a warm, relaxing drink, and just a time which is totally chill. Like, I tend to do a couple of French lessons on Duolingo on my phone, because I want to learn French, one, and I find that sort of at the end of the day, Duolingo is a very relaxed way to learn, and it sort of engages that last bit of my brain, which is a bit of learning, but it's a very peaceful way to learn, and just sort of tires those last few neurons out. And then after that, I'll put my phone down and try to have at least 20 minutes of reading a book. And I think for me, I don't know about everything else, but it being a book is important for a couple of reasons. One, I think maybe my age showing here, that I grew up in before the age of sort of tablets and all of this, and just a book feels relaxing. But another part is, and there are definitely studies here, which is backlit screens keep your brain awake. They make you think there's almost like a sunlight there, and don't let you sleep. Whereas a book, and I think don't know about some of these specialist readers that are sort of non-backlit are okay as well, but actually it relaxes your brain because you're looking at a sort of slightly dimmed reflected light. And again, it's been shown that the process of reading sort of lowers the awake chemicals in your brain and starts inducing those sort of ones which help you sleep. So again, that's my advice. And generally the last thing I do for 10 to 20 minutes before sleep is read, or it could be a magazine or anything, and it helps me sleep so much better. My phone's turned off, and that's probably another big thing for the sleep. I could talk all the time about sleep. Is at night time I have my phone, well, not entirely off because it's my alarm, but I have it set to all internet off, all connectivity off, sound on silent, so I know it's not going to disturb me in the night. I'm not going to receive any messages, no one can contact me. It's literally just there as an alarm. And I think that's big as well, because I go to sleep knowing that I'm not going to be woken up by my phone. And it's something which I've learned in my life. I used to have it on. I think, what if someone calls me? But then you never sort of fully sleep because you're always anticipating a bit of a phone call or a text or an emergency, whereas turn it off, and you know what, in the 10-15 years now since I think 10 years since I started turning my phone off at night, I think I've had one night where I've missed something which it would have been useful to be awake for, and even then the world didn't end, and I found out maybe 4 hours later than I would have done otherwise. And though it would have been nice to be more responsive to that, it didn't matter in the long term. And so one night out of 3,560 odd, 3,650, sorry, maths gone there, I'll take those odds and take the sleep. So that's another one. So yeah, So there was where was I? So sorry, I digressed into sleeping again. But yeah, reading, fantastic way to relax. Then sort of what we do then is sort of up to you. I'm a very active person. I'm fortunate that other than recently when I've had some serious injuries, I'm able to do very active things and play a lot of sport. And that's key to me as well, is making sure or enjoying being physically tired and physical exertion for several times a week. And at the time you get a very pleasant feel, again, that sort of very high but constructive adrenaline and serotonin and endorphins. But then it's sort of your body then uses them up, so again you get that chill afterwards and that longer term relaxation. So if you are able to be active, then fantastic, do it. And if you're not able to be so active, then I don't know, and it's all of us are different. If you can do something, it doesn't matter. Not all of us, not everyone's going to be an Olympic marathon runner, but for some of us, if being active is just moving from a bed to a chair, well, fantastic, and do it. It's all it is. It's whatever you can do for you. So I think that's my next sort of tip to relaxation, is do something several times a week that is active for you and gives you that the positive sort of reward mechanism again from your brain. I'm not going to claim it'll cure everything or cure mental health. No, there's a lot of mental health practitioners and mental medication because it doesn't cure it, but for a lot of us it just helps us relax, and it may do for you too. So yeah, I think I'm sort of saying, but and then think my final one for today, because I'm running out of time, is don't let your worries build up. Talk to people, whether you've got friends, families, loved ones you can talk to, and if not, sometimes actually post anonymously on Reddit about an issue, and just sometimes typing it out there, and you're going to have some trolls respond, but other people may respond, and sometimes just the putting into words helps, about what worries you, about what's stopping you relaxing, about your stresses, or even if you feel to worry about that, start a diary. I know at times in my life when I've had very high stress, I'm not a diary person, but I just started writing them down and what was stressing me, and I found literally the process of writing them helped me organise my thoughts. So if you're the sort of, should we say, at the point where relaxation feels so hard because life is extremely stressful, and it is for a lot of us, even as simple as that, just sort of get a book and just write. And it can be, and if it's a diary for yourself, it can be nonsense. You could just not know, but just put some words down there, and often that will then, the way a lot of our brains work is getting it down helps our brain order it, and it won't cure it, or it may not, sometimes it may, but often it won't. But just sort of having it there can sometimes help us organise it. And for me, I can't talk for everyone, but sometimes I find like the way my brain works is if I've got it down on paper, or I've told somebody, or it's then sort of my brain is like, well, I can forget it because it's written down. I wanted, it was worried, and probably rightly so for a reason. And as part of the worry was, it was worried me I'd forget I was worried. Whereas as soon as it's written down and noted, my brain's like, well, I can now forget about that worry because it's written down, so I won't forget it, so I will forget it. Strange logic there, but that works for me. So yeah, let's summarise my TED talk. Number 1, give yourself time to sleep and listen to your body when it needs sleep. Number 2, set yourself a daily slot for, I'd say, if you can, at least an hour. If more is great. Depends on you and your circumstances, of course. That is your relaxed time, and that is just to do what you need to do to relax. Play Minecraft, have a hot bath, read a book, go for a run, play with your kids, I don't know, talk to a partner, watch a video. But just have that time where that is your time for you to relax, and nothing else can take that from you. And don't let it, again, be strict on that time. Then where was number 3? I think I've now sort of lost my track there. Number 3 was it make sure, do some learning, like learn a language or something, Again, a little bit of time a day. I find sort of 5-10 minutes when I'm prepared for bed is just do something just to positively stimulate your brain in that way. And now I remember the other one, which was back to the sleep thing. Give yourself, a time before bed. Doesn't need to be long, but don't try to go from working to sleeping if you can. And I know some of us are in an unfortunate position where work is so long or so busy we can't, but if you're able, a few minutes, and it makes so much difference to your sleep. And in that time, if you can, read something which is not on a screen, do it. It can be anything at all, and you won't find, I'm not going to promise you're going to feel better tomorrow, but over a period of days and weeks, you may notice that actually you're getting to sleep easier and you're sleeping better. Then, where did I go from there? I think try to be active in whatever way you can a few times a week, and that's going to be different person to person. As I said, it's some of us, it is maybe playing very high level sport or doing something really physical. For some of us, it's something which would, maybe seem minor, but to you is really active. And if you're doing that and doing something which is getting you those sort of feelings of, positive, active adrenaline and endorphins a few times a week in that sort of positive way, again, you'll feel so much better for it. And I think there was another point there, wasn't there? There was turn your sort of chore time, which can feel daunting, into relaxed time by use of audiobooks, videos, or whatever else suits you. And then the final point was to help you relax. When there are worries which are stopping you relaxing, tell someone, talk to someone, post them somewhere where you feel safe posting, or just write them down in your own diary just to get them out of your brain. And often just doing that, getting them out your brain and onto a different format, helps your brain deal with them, helps you relax. So there you go. That's Swifty and Ripost's theory of relaxation. I hope you enjoyed the slightly different episode with me just mining Obsidian and talking at you about relaxation. Again, or you may have hated it, been bored. Just please let me know what you think. And it would have been a longer episode, but I hope you all have a wonderful time, and I will let's press the right button. I'll bid you all adieu and have a wonderful day, night, evening, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.